Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now today is the release date of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And I managed to pick myself up a copy. I've done a few trades in today in one of my local shops, and I managed to get myself a nice credit note. So I thought to myself, why not pick this up? It's day one. I really wanted to enjoy the original, but I couldn't get on with it. The Wii controls, I think, spoiled what looked like an absolutely brilliant game. Looks anyway, it looked fantastic, but I felt it was definitely a missed opportunity. And obviously Nintendo felt the same way because they have now remade it as such. Now we all know the Switch is coming to the end of its life cycle. We've had the Switch 2 announced today, and they're probably not wanting to bring too many new games, first party games anyway, to the system at this stage. So it makes sense that they're just focusing their resources on something like this. Now sometimes I do think it's a bit of a cop out when companies do this. Nintendo have done it a hell of a lot. A lot of Wii U titles have got ported over to the Nintendo Switch. But on this occasion, I think it's actually worthwhile because I think the original game, whilst not unplayable, it wasn't as playable as it should be. So I'm quite looking forward to getting into this game. So whilst I'm not going to go through the whole game on here, I'm going to go through World 1 if possible, and then just give you my thoughts on the game as we go along. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please take the time to consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, let's get into it. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Now straight away you can see the visuals are much improved. They look a lot nicer on this one than they did on the Wii, and of course that's always going to be the case. It's not in HD. Anything from the Wii upwards is gonna look a lot better. The Wii wasn't the greatest console to look at visually, and yeah, it does look great. I mean, not fantastic by any means. The Nintendo Switch at this stage, it's a bit of a miracle in a lot of ways as to what you can put on that console. It's kind of like technology, it's like an old mobile phone at this stage. So to see what you can get on that console, it's genuinely impressive to me. Now I'm not too bothered about the storyline. It's pretty simple, and yeah, all I know is I need to get from one part of the level to the end of the level, collect some bananas, try and collect those letters as well, but I'm not going to be focusing on that. This is more of a video for my initial thoughts of the game upon release. Right, so let's try and figure out these controls now that we don't have to use the Wiimote. Now straight away you can feel it's a lot smoother than what it was on the Nintendo Wii, and that's because you haven't got to use motion controls interlaid with your standard platforming controls. Now, as I said earlier in the video, I don't think it's terrible on the Wii. It's definitely playable, and it wasn't a bad idea at the time. However, I do feel that it took away from your basic platformer experience, and hopefully what we're going to see here today remedies that. Now my problem with Nintendo platformers is that I go into every game, regardless of franchise, whatever it may be, with the same mindset like I'm playing Super Mario. whatever Mario game it may be, I go into it thinking, I'm playing Mario, I'm going to use the same sort of mechanics as I do when I'm playing any other Mario game. Now, as you can see, I've already been hit twice. It's because I'm playing like I'm playing Mario. Once I work out the jump mechanics a little bit better on this, hopefully I'll improve. That's a big if. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only person out there that does this when they're playing a Nintendo platformer. In my head, everything is Mario. Short term anyway. Right, level 1 out of the way. Nice introduction level there. Bit of a tutorial as well, teaching you how to use the controls as you go along. Now, going back to playing the Nintendo Wii version, I probably only got about 3 or 4 levels into it because I just couldn't be bothered with those Wii controls. The motion controls is a bit too much. Whilst not exactly a workout like some other Nintendo Wii games, I just didn't want to play a platformer all the way through, just using those motion control aspects that you saw in it. Right, I've taken far too many hits considering this is only really the first level. I'm not going to count the introduction level. And I have lost Diddy Kong. Quite possibly the only time you're ever going to hear anyone say that no Diddy is a bad thing. Now, I've completely forgotten what button actually smashes the barrels. Now, it's telling me everything else to do on the game, but it's forgotten to tell me what button smashes the barrels. So I'm going to have to work that one out myself. It shouldn't be too hard. Only got to push the buttons once, haven't you, I guess. Now, for some reason, I thought it was X or Y. It's clearly not. There you go. It's the R button. Now, I'll try and refrain, and hopefully that would have been my last Diddy joke I made earlier. Now that we have Diddy. So in order to latch on to the grass when you jump up, as you can see, there's some grass on the wall. You've got to be pushing one of the top trigger buttons and keep your finger on it. Something you can see initially I'm failing to grasp. So I'm just quickly going through this first world as quick as I can anyway. So I'm not going to be focusing on collecting the letters, collecting the jigsaw type pieces as well. I'll do that at a later stage once I sit down and really play this game properly. But that will be happening, as so far I'm quite enjoying this game a lot more than I did initially. You know, out of all the Donkey Kong Country games, ever since they've been released for the Super Nintendo, and what a breath of fresh air those games were when they came out at a time very late into the 16-bit era's life cycle, shall we say. Now, I don't think I've ever finished any of those games other than the first one, as I said. Never really played the third one too much. Played the second one quite a bit, never finished it. Third one, I wasn't really a fan, if I'm honest with you. Donkey Kong Country Part 3. Didn't like that game. Maybe I'm in the minority on that one. Now, as I've said, didn't really get to grips with this one either when it came out because of the controls. Tropical Freeze, I've been playing that on and off on the Wii U and also the Switch over the years. Really good game, and one I'd like to finish, but there was one section on it that was really frustrating for me personally, and I gave up, you know, like quitters do. Right, so I think I'm at the stage now where I'm no longer playing this game like it's a Super Mario Brothers game. I think I've got the range and the controls pretty much under wraps. And I'm totally honest here. What I think of this game so far, even though it's in its early stages, is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying playing this. Now, I always thought it was going to be a good game. But yeah, like many people, I've spoke to a lot of people that agree with me. A good game was definitely masked, hidden away with those Wii remote controls. And the good thing about buying Nintendo Switch games, even at this late stage in the console's lifetime, is that we got confirmation today, 100% confirmation by the way, that Nintendo Switch games will work on the Switch too. Now, I know they did say earlier that it was going to be backwards compatible, but I was always a little bit dubious because I never saw anyone mention physical cartridges being able to work, being backwards compatible. What I saw was Nintendo Switch games would work. Now, I'm always looking for wording and stuff like that when companies make such an announcement. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, maybe they mean digital only, which would be a terrible scenario. But I'll give Nintendo their due. When it comes to backwards compatibility, they have been really, really good in that aspect when it comes to releasing a new console. Nice to see the return of the Rhino, but he didn't do me no favors there. Probably the type of level we least need the Rhino when you're trying to balance the platforms. I'm sure he's adding a little bit of extra weight. It's like just after Christmas, isn't it? We're all balancing a little bit of extra weight. Now, I was talking about the previous Donkey Kong Country games earlier in the video, and in all honesty, they haven't steered too far away from the original formula. There's definitely a few new bits here and there as the games have progressed, but they haven't steered away from the original formula that we saw on the Super Nintendo too much. And that's probably a good thing. They was always onto a really good thing with the format they came out with on the Super Nintendo. And the fact that they've kind of kept it real and stayed with what they know, it's probably for the best. Well, now that was stupid, wasn't it? Now, this game is quite forgiving, I will say that. If you see me die at any point on this game, it's my fault totally. Game so far, from the short period of time I've been playing it, it's not cheap in any way. Gives you every opportunity to get past whatever is in front of you. And I get the impression that on the few occasions that you might die like that, you'll learn from your lesson. I don't think you'd have to go back too many times to make too many adjustments to get past certain levels. Although, of course, we are only in the early stages of the game. Who knows? The further we get on, that might change, might become cheap, might become difficult. And that was a case of me rushing things there. Again, like I said, my fault totally. Should have been waiting for the point where the barrel was pointing slightly to the right before I ejected myself. But, you know, like most men, we let it go far too early. No diddy. Sorry. I just couldn't help myself. We're playing Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong's in this game. There's going to be inevitably a couple of Diddy jokes in here. Now, see, I like aspects about games like this, when you get that. Totally pointless for me having to get them platforms into the play of the game. But still, it's a nice touch. They could have been there all... Oh, no. Sorry to cut that last part of the conversation short, but I hate these mining cart type levels. I think on Donkey Kong Country 3's, I'm not sure if it's a mining section, but it's something like this. It's what I got stuck on and gave up. Now hopefully that's not going to be the case here, although it might just be. Right, anyway, like I said earlier, I think this is a kind of game that you learn from your mistakes as you go along. Well, I clearly didn't there. I got hit again. But, yeah. Second time around, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get that part done. But, yeah, I didn't expect to see that mining section, mining cart come up there. Should have done, really. But... yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, and yeah, not my favourite sections of the Donkey Kong Country series. Anyway, steady, steady. Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. No pun intended. I'm really on form with the dad jokes today. That's definitely not a good thing, by the way. Wow, this is a bit intense. It's sped up and it's got a bit close. I can't quite see what I was doing. I need a checkpoint. Gone a bit far now. Oh, come on. Did I hit a checkpoint at any point? Yes. At least I don't have to start from the very beginning of the mining section. Although, oh, come on. They threw me in there just like that? Really? That's it, I'm getting the hang of this. I'm even collecting the letters. Well, some of them. Right, that one is out of the way. It wasn't too painful. I expected it to be a little bit more difficult once I saw that mining cart, but yeah, not bad, not bad. There's going to be more difficult aspects to that. Maybe that was kind of a introduction to the karting platforming sections, just to let you know they're still here. Right, let's check out the shop. We haven't been there yet. Right, I've got a fair few coins, so I'll pick up as much as I can. Yes, I do. Put it in the bag. Right, so we are very close to the end of the first world on Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And I believe we're about to encounter our first boss fight. Now, what is that? That looks like a Pokemon reject. In fact, no, it actually just looks like a Pokemon. Not even a reject. That could easily fit into that world. Right, let's try and figure out a pattern here. Right, so far it's a standard just jump on his head. Okay, you can't intercept this floppy belly jump that he's doing. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Oh, he's a bit angry now. How annoying is that floppy belly thing? I guess you just got to roll under it or get to the corner. Oh, okay, so the corner's out of bounds. You know, in some games, if you run to the corner, they can't get you. Oh, no Diddy, I'm on my own. Right, so... yeah, I think at this stage, once he gets to this sort of anger level on this red stage, you've just got to let him hit the wall and hit him from that point onwards. Easier said than done for someone like myself, but we're going to give it a go. What on earth is that? Oh, getting out of that attacking charge that he does once he... lets that fire go. That's a little bit difficult. I didn't anticipate that. Right, anyway, I'm going to beat him this time. I'm not messing around. I'm not hanging around for too long. I want to get this video done and to show you guys the first world of this game. And old floppy nuts here has got to go down. How many hits does this really crap Pokemon take? Floppy bellied fool. Right, that's him down anyway. You'd be disappointed if you bought a pack of Pokemon cards, wouldn't you, and ended up with this guy. Right, so that was World 1 on Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. My initial thoughts on this game, it's really good. I'm enjoying this game a lot. The controls, like I've said in the video, they're a breath of fresh air compared to what they was originally put out as. I'm really enjoying it. I recommend picking this one up if you like your Nintendo first party titles. I might actually do a further gameplay video of this, a complete walkthrough. If I do, that will be up on my secondary channel, Whizbit's Random Gameplay. I'll leave a link in the description to my secondary channel. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.